Hello everyone, now do you want to win more races in GT Sport? Do you want to get more overtakes done on track? Well, you may have come to the right video, because I'm going to show you 4 techniques to getting overtakes done on GT Sport. These are 4 techniques that I use, that other top drivers use, and we're going to show you techniques to get progressively harder. And I really hope by watching this video this gives you some more weapons to use on track to get past. Now we'll start here with the first move. It's a simple move up the inside. Now what I mean by a simple move is we're not going to go for a dive, we're not going to go for a block pass. We're going to hit the apex and we're going to give the driver on the outside space and we're going to drag race the next corner. That's exactly what we're going to do here. Hit the apex side by side, give the driver space. Now it's a drag race. And in this instance we actually get a slightly better run and we're going to get past. So it's a clean move, it's a simple move. If it doesn't work out, you tried it, there's no harm done. Now, as I said, this should be the bread and butter in your overtaking arsenal. It's like the forehand in tennis or shooting with the instep in football, because this move you can whip out any opportunity and you never know what's going to happen. There's very little consequences for you. So have a look here. I'm in last place, loads of cars ahead, diving all over the place. We're going to stick to the inside here, hit the apex, go up the inside, tiny bit of contact. But we're actually going to make 4 positions just by doing a very simple move up the inside. And there was very little risk for us doing that in that circumstance. Right, now we're going to get a little bit more complicated. Have a look at the switchback. It's going to flow right on in this clip. The switchback is much more complicated because you're making the move at a later stage. Have a look at Key 25 do it here on the Spanish driver. Go to the outside and at the last second goes to the inside. It's braking very late. It's going to go past the apex, tiny bit of contact, but the switchback is always going to be messier. It's always going to be messier, but it's very useful when the driver ahead of you is defending very hard. And if they've done that for a number of laps, they've always gone to the inside. You can use a switchback to kind of bait them to come back to the racing line at last minute dive up the inside. It's a tricky move to pull off. Key did it really well there. Let's have a look at me giving it a shot. We go for a late switchback. I don't like doing this move. We can do it. So yes, not sure I pulled it off quite as well. That, you know, possibly I was turned in on, but as we talked about in this live stream actually, you could expect to be turned in on because you're making such a late move and the other driver might not expect you to be there. So bit of a tricky move to pull off. You can do it in other situations though. So here I'm going to go for a switchback, not make any contact and just take advantage of a poorer line ahead. So always think about the switchback. Do you want to kind of commandeer that space on the exit even if it's not the faster line? And always a really fun one to try as well. Now we're going to have a look here at the block pass. This is the third technique. It's probably my favourite to pull off. Basically, you have to claim the apex. So we're going to go here. We're going to claim the apex, pause the footage, and you can see Ryan behind me can't really accelerate now because I'm just in the way. So in this instance, he has to back out a little bit, and then he actually tries to go for a cutback, but it's a little bit too late. So the block pass is different from the dive up the inside because you're really going to dive into that space on the apex, and it can get a bit more controversial. This is an example with Super GT that was a little bit controversial. I go from quite a long way back, but I am going to park it on the apex. I'm still going to make the corner, and Super GT can't really get past me. I'm blocking the apex. Let's have a look here, and you can see, so you start blurring the lines of whether it's a dive or not. But you know, Super GT and myself, we both kart in Club 100, and the block pass is one of the main ways you can get past in karting. You have to physically put your kart there. So now we're going to move on to the next technique, and I hope you're enjoying this video at the moment. Do feel free to drop a like, subscribe, or even hit the notification bell to make sure you get notified of the next GT Sport video on this channel. I really love making these videos for you guys and girls watching. But we're going to have a look now about going round the outside. Round the outside. I think the most difficult overtaking technique to do, by the way. So we're going to see how we line this on up with PX cam. And by the time we make this move, we're basically going to be level, but the principle is still there. To go round the outside, you basically need to commit to both braking later and turning in later. And you need to be strong when you're turning. So we're going to turn in later here. And PX cam, to his absolute credit, doesn't knock us off the road. And that is the risk of going around the outside. In any form of motorsport, you put yourself in a position where you can easily be squeezed off the road. So again, we're going to have a look at another instant here. Again, we're going to be kind of level, but it takes confidence to go around the outside, and it takes like fairness from the driver behind to not punt you off the road, and that is a risk you take. We can see here against Catfish, this was for a top split daily race win, and we're going to go round the outside, and Catfish, again, to his absolute credit, doesn't just nudge us off. So if you want to go round the outside, normally I would recommend doing it with drivers that you know and you kind of trust to have good hard racing. If you're going to jump straight into like a DRB SRC lobby and try and go around the outside, it's all going to end in tears, I'm afraid. So the way I've gone through the techniques in this video with the simple pass up the inside, the switchback, the block pass, and then the round the outside, they kind of get progressively more difficult. And if you get to a stage where you can go around the outside, it is an absolutely superb feeling. And I also feel it gives you a kind of bond with the driver that you either have gone around the outside too, or if that driver's gone around you around the outside, you kind of have that fair play, respect bond with each other, which is very, very cool. And there's a lot of drivers in GT Sport. You can see some here like Catfish and Super GT and Basic Ollie. You know, gone side by side in a number of corners with the guys, and it's a great feeling. So I really hope you can get that in your racing team on GT Sport. So what I'd like you to do, if you enjoyed this video, please do put in the comments, if you have any videos of your best overtakes, put them in the comments. I will take a look at them and I will rate them out of 10. So if you want to get rated for your overtakes, put them in the comments. But otherwise, hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, happy racing.